Hey, my name is Mallory Shimwell, and for my senior project in 491, I was the technical director for Lecture Hall Live, and I directed one episode. And I was the technical director for Not Another Radio Show. Lecture Hall Live, I think we shot 5 episodes. For Not Another Radio Show, I think we shot 5 or 6. And I just want to start by saying I loved both productions. I learned a lot, and I wouldn't change this time for anything. These productions changed my future. I was able to secure a job based off of these shows, and I'm just so proud of what we accomplished. So some of the advice I have for the students in 490, if you're wanting to do a multi-episodic series, there are certain things that we learned the hard way that would make it so much easier for you. So first is, I can't stress enough the importance of pre-planning. At the beginning, before you shoot day one, you have a creative meeting where everybody sits down and discusses what your end product is going to look like and all aspects related to it. Your delivery method, who your target audience is, the format, everything. You discuss everything related to that show so that on day one, everybody is confident that they're starting at the same page as everybody else. And so a part of that pre-planning is your equipment list. That is so important, because the worst thing would be to be on location shooting somewhere and you realize you forgot a piece of equipment sitting in EQR, and you've lost the whole day. And then knowing the consistency of your show order and time, because in multi-episodic series, there's a format. At my job, I do certain shows like Kelly and Ryan and Tamron Hall, and there's always a certain format for every episode, and it makes it so much easier for those in post to have to know, okay, well, a break's about to come up, or this is where she normally does this, so I have that marker. Having that consistency between each episode is so important. Having production meetings after each episode to discuss what went wrong, what went well, changes that need to be made, were there any issues that need resolved. We did it for Not Another Radio Show, and those production meetings were fantastic. There were certain things that one department had an issue with that the rest of production didn't know about. And being able to discuss that with the whole team to come up with a solution is so much better than trying to tackle it on your own. Those production meetings were amazing. And then having the production reports so that you can look back and say, okay, well, this is what this issue was. This is how we resolved it. So if it comes up again, we have that documented evidence of, well, these are the steps that we took to resolve it. And then you have those production reports to add into your paper, to add pages, and to show future employers that not only did I do the task, I was fastidious enough to take notes, and you can see, these were my roles. This is what we did. This is when we started. They can see evidence of your participation and how much you paid attention to the shows and to your surroundings. And then one thing I wish we had done, which we didn't do, was an episode review after each time. We did it for Lecture Hall Live, and that was great. Being able to see, oh, well, this transition could have been a little bit better, so maybe I'll work on it next time. kind of like those production meetings. I wish we had done it for Not Another Radio Show, but we didn't. So if you do a multi-episode show, review your episodes each time. So some of the things that I learned during this process, I need to work on my ability to wing it. As much as I love pre-planning and how much I rely on that pre-planning, it will never go 100% of the way I planned it. So being able to just roll with it when my very best friend Crystal Lewis decides to go over the show time, you just have to wing it. Or when our musical artist for Lecture Hall Lives decides to throw in a non-original piece, you just have to wing it and trust that in your abilities that the end result will still be fantastic. With that, have a trusted team. As you look around in our program, you may find people who aren't your best friends, but they are very good and skilled at their craft. Those are the people you want on your team. I mean, you may have differing opinions, and that's actually a good thing. But having that trusted team to be able to work through these issues when they occur, not if, but when they occur, and having a trusted team that will work with you on your ideas. If you have an idea of a certain technique that you want to try and someone says, I love that idea, but I don't think it's feasible, and here's why, you can't replicate that type of teamwork. It's have a trusted team. And with that team, learn all aspects. Just because my title was technical director or director, I still needed to know every single aspect. We cannot rely on John Shannon. He will graduate. We will have to do this on our own. I learned that. I fixed it. Had I paid attention in the beginning to what he was doing and asking questions, and it's not just John Shannon, watching every aspect, learning, asking questions, so that the one day my team isn't there, the show can still proceed. And one of the most important things was to record what you're doing behind the camera. It's fantastic to have an end result. It's fantastic to have a final product, but without proof, without photographic evidence that you were actually involved, all you have is that end product, and maybe your name's attached to it. But to have photos where you're shown with the camera or you're shown with the switcher, that's what I put on my LinkedIn. That's what my current employer looked at. I took photos at every single episode that we did, every planning. I took photos and videos, and I posted it on LinkedIn. I wrote posts about our successes and our failures, and I've gotten a great response. My current employer, when I applied for the job, he looked at my LinkedIn page and saw evidence that I'm working on the equipment that he needs me to work on. I'm touching it. I'm manipulating it. So I didn't have to have this giant drawn out interview. I have evidence that I'm working on this. So record what you're doing behind the scenes. Have that proof, have that evidence that you know what you're doing, not just by the final product, but here you can see clearly in this photo, I'm handling this equipment. So that was my senior project. I loved every aspect of it. I'm so proud of what we've accomplished. I hope that someone picks these shows up to continue them. They're fantastic shows. And they have such longevity. They do. They'll be a fantastic product and project to continue every semester. So, thank you.